Hello friends, Steve Stockton here with you. In this episode, we're diving into the unsettling cases of people who mysteriously vanished without a trace, right from their workplace. Join me, let's explore these chilling stories. First up, let's talk about Trevaline Evans. Trevaline lived a quiet, normal life in Llangollen, Wales. She was devoted to her husband and son, both named Richard. In 1989, she fulfilled a lifelong dream by opening her own antique store, Attic Antiques. On June 16, 1990, Trevaline was having a seemingly ordinary day buying groceries, chatting with customers, and managing her shop. But then she placed a note on the front door that read, "Back in 2 minutes," and simply disappeared. She was never seen or heard from again. Around 12:40 p.m., Trevaline was seen buying a banana and an apple at a nearby grocery store, then heading back toward her shop. Investigators found a banana peel in a wastebasket inside, suggesting she did make it back. But if she left for that 2-minute errand, why was the note still on the door? You'd think she would have taken it down upon returning. Her purse, jacket, and other items she planned to take home were all found inside the shop. But there was no sign of Trevaline, and no clues about where she went. Over the years, there have been alleged sightings of Trevaline across Europe, but none were ever confirmed. There was also a report of an unidentified man in the shop with her that day, but it's unclear if this was a rumor or a real lead. If authorities ever identify this man, they haven't made it public. Sadly, much of the information surrounding this case is unverified, with rumors and speculation about her personal life. Ultimately, Trevaline's case remains one of the most baffling missing persons cases in the United Kingdom. Next, we have the case of Kim Sue Leggett. 21-year-old Kim worked as a secretary at the Ross Cotton Gin in Mercedes, Texas, which was owned by her father-in-law. On October 9, 1981, she was last seen standing outside the business before she vanished. At around 4:30 p.m., a customer came in with a load of produce, and Kim helped him weigh it. A few minutes later, another customer saw Kim in the parking lot talking to two unidentified men next to her car and what looked like a white sports car. When that same customer returned about half an hour later, Kim was gone. Her car was still there, but the white sports car had vanished. Around 4:45 p.m., just 15 minutes after she was last seen, Kim's parents received two shocking phone calls telling them she had been kidnapped for ransom. At first, they thought it was a sick joke and tried calling her at work, but no one answered. This was alarming, as it was her job to answer the phones. Her stepfather rushed to the business, only to find it empty. Kim was nowhere in sight, but her purse and car keys were in her vehicle. Inside the office, her college books were open on her desk, a pencil was laid down, and a calculator was still on. It looked like she had just stepped away for a moment. Sometime later, a ransom letter arrived, demanding $250,000 for her safe return. The letter seemed to be in Kim's handwriting, but the envelope was addressed by someone else. Back then, $250,000 was a massive sum, equivalent to over $3.2 million today. Her stepfather was investigated because he was a pilot, and some speculated he had refused to smuggle contraband, but there was no evidence. Kim's husband was also looked into, but no evidence connected him to her disappearance, and he has always maintained his innocence. Although foul play is suspected, no one has ever been charged, and her case remains unsolved. Now let's turn to the disappearance of Suzy Lamplugh. On July 28, 1986, 25-year-old real estate agent Suzy Lamplugh vanished in broad daylight while showing a house in West London. At 12:40 p.m., Suzy left her office to show a property to a new client, listed only as Mr. Kipper in her appointment book. She took her purse and keys but left her handbag behind. 10 minutes later, she was seen outside the property, and around 1 p.m., a man was seen with her. The two were then spotted walking away from the home. When Suzy didn't return, her manager called her mother Diana, asking if she knew where her daughter might be. Diana knew something was wrong. Suzy was a stickler for rules and always punctual. At 6:45 p.m., Suzy was reported missing. Her company car was found about a mile from her office, with no signs of a struggle and wiped clean of fingerprints. Her purse was in the glove compartment, but her keys were gone. Despite massive media coverage and community support, no trace of Suzy has ever been found. Mr. Kipper was never identified. Suzy was declared legally dead in 1994. Later, witnesses reported seeing Suzy arguing with a man before getting into another vehicle. A strong suspect emerged: John Cannon, a serial rapist released from prison just 3 days before Suzy disappeared. He resembled the man seen with her. His nickname was Kipper, and a former girlfriend claimed he bragged about murdering Suzy. While police built a strong, circumstantial case, they lacked the evidence to charge him. In 1989, Cannon was convicted of another murder and received 3 life sentences, but he continues to deny any involvement in Suzy's disappearance. Finally, we have the case of Lynne Breaux. On April 17, 1982, 18-year-old Lynne was working alone as a clerk at her cousin's convenience store in Florida, Massachusetts. The store was just a few yards from her home. Lynne was scheduled to close at 9 p.m. Around 8 p.m., her cousin called to check on her. Lynne said it had been a slow night. While they were on the phone, the store's bell rang, signaling a customer. Lynne said she had to go and would call back after closing. She never did. At 8:40 p.m., a customer found the store completely abandoned with the front door wide open. Lynne's family was alerted, and they called the police. On the counter, they found Lynne's open book and a half-empty soda, but her jacket and purse were missing. While $187 was taken from the cash register, more cash hidden underneath was left behind. Police believed an abductor wouldn't have known about the hidden money, suggesting Lynne was taken against her will. A lead emerged about a man who had tried to abduct a college student that same night, just 40 minutes before Lynne vanished. The suspect description was a man about 40 years old, 5'7" tall, with possible ties to Vermont. A police officer may have even spotted the suspect's vehicle heading toward Florida, Massachusetts, but it was never identified. Lynne was a studious and caring young woman who was planning to care for her chronically ill mother after graduation. She had no car, no driver's license, and wasn't dating anyone. Her case remains unsolved. So, what do you think of these strange disappearances from a person's place of work? I look forward to reading your comments, but please keep it respectful. Until we meet again, be good to yourselves and each other. I'm Steve Stockton, and I'll see you a little further on down the trail.